If you're planning a kitchen renovation but don't know where to start, this video is going to help you get off on the right foot. Get lots of layout options. It's a great idea to get as many layout options as possible so that you can see what definitely works and what definitely doesn't work. I always try to give my clients at least 2 options for their kitchen so they can see it in a way that maybe they didn't think of before. Oftentimes a client will come back and say, oh, I never thought of that, I really like it, or I definitely don't like that, and now at least I know I don't like it and I'm informed. It can be hard sometimes when you're looking at your space with your pre-existing kitchen to envision anything else. But when a designer opens up their program and they're designing your kitchen with just walls and it's just a blank space and they're not familiar with your kitchen really at all, it's a whole lot easier to come up with ideas that may or may not even work. It's not that they will or will not work, it's the fact that it helps you to see all the options for your kitchen, and it helps you pick out the ones that you like the best. Consider your appliance choices up front. Do not leave your appliance choice till later, especially when it comes to your fridge or a wall oven and an insert microwave that sometimes has a trim kit. Those type of appliances have cutout spaces that they belong in, and those cutout spaces are very important to get right. And the amount of space around those appliances for a wall oven and a microwave that have trim kits is very important to know what the clearances are. And if you don't know what they are beforehand when it comes to installing that kitchen, you can wind up with appliances not fitting or trim kits being too big for the space or too small for the space. Getting the clearances for these appliances is crucial. And where other appliances it doesn't matter so much, like with some ranges or dishwashers, those are fairly standard, although they come in a variety of sizes too. You will find that when you have your appliance information, your designer can take those specs and design your kitchen around those, so that at the end of the process, you don't end up with a fridge that doesn't fit in the hole that's allotted for it. It happens a lot. You don't want it to happen to you. Learn about some of the guidelines. You don't need to study them all and know them all off by heart, but it is a good idea if you are a little bit familiar with some of the guidelines that are involved in a kitchen planning project, such as the minimum distance between 2 countertop spaces, what an allowable walkthrough is for a 1-person kitchen or a 2-person kitchen. When you know these things and you're designing with your designer, then it's a lot easier to make decisions based on this information. Have a basic understanding of the kitchen triangle and what it is and what it isn't, so that you understand there's a certain distance between all your appliances and your sink that makes it really functional. And if it goes outside of this, at least you know it's probably not the best practice. It's doable, but you have an understanding of that. Know the heights that cabinets should be installed at and some of the vertical clearances that are important, especially when it comes to some appliances and just where cabinets should be hung on the wall. And yes, your kitchen designer should know this and walk you through the process, but it is good practice that you have some idea of what you're looking at as well when you're doing a kitchen design. Let me tell you real quick about my online kitchen design solution. Check it out if you think it is something that interests you or you may have need of. You send me the information of your renovation project or new build, and I will help you design your new kitchen. It's pretty simple, and the link below tells you all the details. Plan for delays. There's gonna be delays in your kitchen project, the same as there's delays on getting to work in the morning. And if you're aware that there's gonna be delays, then when they come up, you are expecting them. Not expecting them is a real big issue, because I guarantee you there's gonna be a problem. I did a video on how to survive a kitchen renovation. I'll link to it in the card up above, but check that video out for some more information on how to survive going through the process. But planning for delays is definitely one of the things you should do in the beginning so that the whole process will be much more successful and a less stressful event. When you're waiting 4 weeks for a door to come in that's a replacement on a cabinet that you've already waited 6 weeks for, delays are just an opportunity for you to... No! Delays are just bloody frustrating, and they're gonna happen, and if you are aware that they're gonna happen and you plan for them, and they're not gonna knock you off the rails. And function over fashion. What I mean is design your kitchen with functionality as the first priority, and then move it into the style and what you want it to look like. Because if you have a really beautiful kitchen but it functions horribly, you're not gonna be happy with the end result. Unless you really don't use the kitchen and you don't care about that, then by all means it doesn't really matter. You can just have something that looks great but doesn't function because you're not really using it that much anyway, so go for it. If you're someone who really uses that space, you cook, you bake, or you just have a busy home like we do, where you're in the kitchen a lot, it's good to have it functioning first, and then it can look however it wants. Now yes, you want it to look nice, but there's no reason why it can't be both. And lastly, budget. Check out this video where I tell you what you should be considering when it comes to budget at the beginning of the project. Thank you so much for watching this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. Bye.